Hello and welcome to Travel Beans. I'm Emma, behind the camera is Alex, and having just returned from a trip around mainland Europe, we thought we would put together a little list for you guys of our top tips to travel during COVID. Before we get started, this video is sponsored by N-rit, who have asked us to test out their multifunctional antibacterial face covering, which we'll be doing today around Somerset. The washable, lightweight material makes it perfect for activities such as cycling and hiking. And the cooling technology is activated simply by water. You just need to wet it, wring it out, and wear it. Now, without further ado, let's get into the tips. Masks are now mandatory in many places around the world. Traveling without a mask at the moment would just be ridiculously challenging. On our trip, every time we wanted to go to a supermarket, a fuel station, grab a coffee, or go to a restaurant, we needed to wear one. There were no exceptions allowed.
And the amount of times that I forgot, or at least misplaced my mask on this recent trip was ridiculous. And I had to do so many walks of shame back to the car and scrambling to find my mask. So I'm actually excited because I can keep this one around my neck. This actually would have been really useful during the time in the desert in the States.
Oh yeah, the dusty desert. So one of the things that actually attracted me to this wonderful headband I'm wearing is the cooling technology. I'm one of these people, I just can't handle heat.
You're in a constant state of menopause.
Oh, I'm way too young for that, don't. I have thick, dark hair that seems to just trap all of the heat inside of it. I actually plan to test this bit out much later in the video today, but I am melting right now. Oh my goodness.
Game changer?
Game changer. I was feeling a bit skeptical actually. I was ready to poo-poo it. But I really can't complain.
Look at your body language change since you've done that.
I'm not happy when I'm hot.
No, you're very good at hiding it, but this is the real Emma.
Well, now that I'm in a much better mood, we have tip number 2, nature over cities. I think it goes without saying that you've got a far greater chance of being able to socially distance when you're in nature rather than in cities, although this isn't completely foolproof, as we found out on our recent trip to Bavaria, where we went to some popular tourist spots in nature and it was definitely not socially distant. You had to wear a mask outside, didn't you?
Yeah, we've been wearing masks here because, like, for example, I was sitting down while I waited for Emma to come out of the bathroom, and someone decided, even though there was lots of places to sit right next to me, like touching me.
I think that's something else that is overlooked quite often, is that nature isn't only good for social distancing, it's also essential for our mental health and well-being. I honestly think that nature is just a big fat reset button for everything. Like, I feel like I'm bathing in nature right now. I feel just completely washed of any kind of stress from like the normal world, which is just great, especially during this pandemic.
Next up is tip number 3, and that is to travel locally. Running a travel YouTube channel during a pandemic has certainly had its challenges, but it has given us this forced appreciation of the place that we're from, and that is what we're doing today. Thanks to subscriber Matt for recommending a place right near my hometown that I didn't even know existed. Of course, we would all love to go on an international holiday at the moment, but let's face it, it certainly comes with some challenges, and certain countries are just big no-nos at the moment.
Like which ones, Al?
Of course it's easier said than done, but if you can adopt the mindset when you travel, to travel as a tourist and not as a local, I think you'll be able to appreciate things a lot more. My philosophy on appreciation is that everything is there to be appreciated, and it's your job to hone in on that and take it. Even these annoying little flies that have decided to come around me while I'm filming, I can appreciate them because it allows me to use this as an insect repellent for my face.
Oh, nice segue.
Oh my god, it's so wet.
It's nice, isn't it?
Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
always a bit dubious walking through fields with sheep in. They are quite terrifying when they get a charge on. So I've got eyes in the back of my head right now, looking in every direction, hoping they're not going to mow me down.
I don't trust this one, he looks like a gatekeeper.
Yeah, literally. Next up is tip number 4, travel over land. Not only are airports one of the more high-risk places for exposure, but also you need to take into account other aspects of flying. For example, how are you getting to and from the airport? Will you be getting public transport, a shuttle bus, a taxi? And what happens if your flight gets cancelled? There is so much more uncertainty when it comes to travel by air at the moment when compared to over land, and it just adds so much more stress and anxiety, which really is not what we want when we're trying to go on a lovely holiday. When traveling over land, especially by car on a road trip, it is so much easier to adjust and change your plans. For us, it feels much safer and less stressful to travel over land.
Tip 5, check the travel news, you muppet. If you're going out to travel right now and you're not keeping up to date with the latest travel news, you are stupidly irresponsible and I don't want you on this channel. Get out! Get out! This sounds like management speak, but let's be proactive, not reactive in the situation.
Nice.
For the Brits watching, you can sign up to the FCO's travel alerts, which will give you up-to-date information if anything changes last minute. For other people from other countries, check your countries, because I'm sure they're doing something similar.
Number 6, sanitizing gel and wet wipes. This one may seem really obvious to everyone watching, but I cannot stress enough how you cannot have too much hand sanitizer gel or disinfectant wipes. They came in so handy on our most recent trip. Of course, plenty of businesses are working tirelessly to keep as much clean as is physically possible, but there's always a rogue surface laying about, whether it's a glass that somebody's touched or even a bathroom door. Why on earth do some bathroom doors get designed so you have to open it and pull it towards you when you're walking out? It makes no sense. But if you have some hand sanitizer gel, use this afterwards. You can't do it too much. Also, it's really worth remembering that our phones carry so much filth, and I'm not just talking about the content on them either. Make sure you give them a wipe down every day just to stay that little bit more safe.
I just want to point out how striking this landscape is. When you're a kid, quicksand is something you're kind of worried about from all the movies.
That's so true.
Quicksand. Or like slow as sand.
But like this looks pretty similar.
It's like a legit threat here.
This is an actual threat. The thickness of this mud, I don't think you'll get a gauge of how thick and big it looks. But I'm so impressed, again, traveling locally, like what's here, and I didn't really know it was here, this random landscape.
So are you saying that if it wasn't COVID right now, there's no way you would have come here?
At this particular moment in time, yes. I would be burning in another country instead of burning here.
Number 7, toilets and showers. Obviously, I think the most secure way to travel right now would be in a completely self-contained camper van or motorhome that has your shower, has your toilet all built into it, so you really don't have to have any contact with the outside world at all. We went for quite a modest-sized camper van on our last European trip, which didn't have a toilet or shower. For emergencies, we took a very luxurious camping toilet, which was essentially a camping chair with a hole in it. All you have to do with that is basically buy what it's essentially a bin bag with sort of absorbent material inside of it, which you place inside the hole and do your business. I will neither confirm or deny whether that was used at all on our trip, but it was there for emergencies. As for the shower situation, our camper van didn't have one of those either. So we opted for a shower in a bag, which is exactly as it sounds. It was literally a black bag that you'd fill with water and then you'd leave it in the sun to warm up for a few hours. The shower itself did actually work pretty well. However, because we were on the go so much and every day we were driving to a new location, it really wasn't the most convenient option. So we mainly used campsite facilities for showers, and maybe maybe more wet wipes than we choose to admit. To be fair to the campsites, they did a pretty great job of cleaning them, and every time we went in there, they seemed to have staff in there cleaning and tidying. And you are cleaning yourself in the facilities using soap. But obviously the same with the toilet situation. When you're using door handles and things like that, you have to be aware and just make sure you sanitize.
And the final tip is to use contactless services. Paying contactlessly is pretty universal these days, and we managed to do a trip around 6 different countries without needing any cash at all. The only exception was when we tried to buy some French fries on the side of the road in Belgium, and they wanted our COVID-laced notes. It's not just cards that you can do contactless payments with. A lot of businesses have adapted. So for example, some restaurants and bars, you can do it completely contactlessly by ordering your food on an app. When we picked up our camper van, we did this contactlessly as well. We didn't have to see anyone. And even the Eurotunnel across to France, we didn't have to have any contact with anyone apart from the passport control. But that's understandable. And then just sanitize that passport after that French van has its mitts on it. There are a lot of precautions that have been put in place by all the wonderful people in the tourism industry, and thankfully it has made travel feel very safe during this time, at least for us.
We've had such a wonderful time out in our local area again. Every time we go out, it's something new and different. I love it.
And as for this bad boy, this is my new favourite travel accessory, and the joke is on N-rit because I would pay for this, and this is now going everywhere on my travels. It's the perfect hiking accessory.
I actually really did love it, and it's 100% something we need to take, especially on our hiking trips, because as I said earlier, I overheat so easily, and that cooling technology saved me today.
And the fact that it can double up as a face mask is amazing in this climate, but that's not what sold it for me. It's the cooling technology that it's guys.
It's great. And actually, I didn't once feel hot or like I couldn't breathe properly. And that's something that I found with normal masks in the summer. It's bloody sweaty in there. If anyone else is interested in this product, we will leave a link down in the description below.
Let us know any of your travelling tips in the comments, and let us know, do you feel safe to travel yet?
And if you have already travelled yet, like us, what was your experience like? Was it a positive experience? Was it a negative? Let us know down below.
And nothing left to say, but thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time, and beans out!